Hello everybody, welcome back to Student Budgets. So in today's video we're going to be doing my favourite video of the month, which is my budget with me. So first of all, I'm going to just give a bit of context. October was an interesting month. I feel like September and October have been so uncontrolled because obviously I know people have noticed I haven't done my check-ins. I've been really busy and I feel like life's kind of, when life just gets in the way a bit, and so things like budget just go out the window, don't they? Do we care that much when it comes to it, and we kind of forget about it? And I feel like after my weekend that I've just had, where I've spent quite a bit, and I mentioned that in my week 5 cash stuff and video, I kind of want to do like a full reset. So November is going to be exactly that. I know I said I was going to do that actually in October, but we're going to probably start it now. So I'm going to write November because obviously I like to do a monthly budget. Now, what's going to make this interesting is usually with a budget, you would list your income first and then you would go on, wouldn't you? Well, I'm not going to do that because what I kind of want to do with November is figure out sort of a bare minimum budget, if that makes sense. So we're going to do like a back to basics, really stripped back budget. Minimalizing how much I'm going to spend in particular areas, trying to keep up with this busy life, but also minimalizing it a bit. And hopefully throughout November and December, we can do that. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. We're going to go with my fixed expenses first. So these are my bills that I have. I don't include my rent for the month because I just automatically take that my student loan straight away. So first of all, we're going to start off with fixed expenses, which are going to be my subscriptions. So my subscriptions are as follows. So we have YouTube Premium, which is going to be coming up for the first time this month. I know I'm talking about going back to basics, but it's one of those things that is like something that I find genuinely beneficial to have because I listen to a lot of music as well. So I find it nice when I can go to the library and I can just focus without having to skip adverts. So it is something that I'm going to continue because I'm really happy to have that. And then I obviously have IRAS, Patreon and YouTube. So that altogether is going to come to £10.18. On top of that, we have gym. So, of course, I'm not going to just cancel that because I want to strip back. That is something that for me is really important as well. So it's kind of like, they are like my non-negotiables. Like I have to have the gym there and I have to have YouTube Premium. And I just like to support Ira because I think it's kind of like giving back in a sense because of how much he does do for us. So that is something there that I like to consider. I always like to write down, as I've said, things that are categories, but I might not always be putting money into. So I'm not going to put anything into hobbies, and I'm also not going to be putting anything into formals. There's a chance I might be going to a formal, but to be honest with you, I really don't know whether I'm going to be going. If I am, I will just take the money out from social, or even from my spending money, one or the other. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna basically, usually I would write my variable, so basically next I usually have my cash envelopes. So I like to do that I'm just gonna do that myself. I've also forgot to write a quick total there, just to keep like a running total going. So altogether, mentally, I can figure out that's £31.18. So we're gonna do my envelopes next. Oh, I can hear my stomach going, guys. I've just had my lunch. So we're going to do envelopes next. So envelopes basically consist of my groceries and my spending money. So let me write them down. Groceries. And we have spending money. So spending money, I usually give myself £15 a month. Now, in terms of what I've begun doing in October, and this is really bad. So I will have my spending money. But then what I also do is I will use my card for things. So, for example, I like to go to like the university cafes and whatnot, but they are all card only. Or at least I've never seen anyone pay with cash, and I don't think they usually accept it. So it is difficult to do in that sense. So what I'm planning on doing is, instead of going to there, kind of making my own snacks. So for example, going and get cookies, and then I can just give myself a cookie each day if I want like a snack like that. And if I want to go for like a quick 5-minute walk, you know, I can just do that. I don't always have to go to a cafe for that. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know why I put that there. So groceries first of all. Do I have my little calendar? I do. Hang on, guys. I'm just reaching over for my little calendar. So here she is. I'm really hoping that I haven't seen any of these ones this year. So this is November's layout here. So I give myself spending money every Monday. So in terms of spending money, I'm going to give myself 4 weeks worth of money. I'm going to give myself, now this is going to be a really random amount. I'm going to give myself £7.50 per week. So that would be, I think, £30 yes, £30 for the month. So that's £7.50 each week. Now, that is not a lot. I'm fully aware of that. But it's a case of, if I am going to give myself treats, then, and potentially risk spending on my card, then I can't take a full amount of cash out. Of course, I'm still going to do my savings challenge each week. So I'm not always going to get £7.50. Some weeks I might only have £1.50 or £2.50, which if I want snacks, then I will just take from my treat fund, because I have that available and I don't mind taking it from there. Groceries. So I haven't done a grocery shop in forever. Literally, I think the last one I did was the 8th of October because I've been so busy. So my plan is to go and do one roughly at the beginning of November, sort of like here, maybe even on the 1st. I might even consider that. Actually, that might be a good idea. I could go on the 1st, actually. That makes more sense. Go like 1st, and then I'll probably do one sort of like here. So I'm probably going to do 2, but I'm going to try and do like a really stripped back grocery shop as well. So I'm only going to give myself a total of, is £60 too little? I think that might be. I think that would risk potentially, because then what I could do is I'll do 25 a week, 25.50 for 2 weeks, and then yeah, actually I think that might be all right. I'll do 65. And I want to do 2 times £25 shops, are big shops, and then I've got 2 like small little mini shops, and I think that makes more sense. So £65 for the month. So that's a really stripped back from whatever. What did I give myself? Actually, oh, I don't have my little booklet, do I? Do I have it? What did I give myself in September, for example? I'm really sorry, guys. I know this is usually a bit more organised, but I'm making this without a plan, and sometimes that's better for me. Like in August, I give myself 40 for groceries, but I definitely did overspend on that heavily. And last month and in September, I give myself 70 for being at uni less. So it's gonna be a challenge, but it's a challenge I'm willing to accept. I feel like I sound like Lord Farquaad from Shrek, where he says like, I'm willing to sacrifice you, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to take, or something like that. So 95 at £31.18 altogether is 126 18. Perfect. So next up, we're going to go to my variable expenses. So these are, well, technically, well, yeah, I suppose these are variable expenses. Yes, they are. So what my plan is for that, I'm going to get it out, guys, so you can all see what I'm on about, is this here. So this is my university binder that I like to have with it. Home, emergency, study supplies, groceries, household, self-care, and treats. So they're kind of like my 6 main categories. So I'm going to write them all down. So I've got home. I don't include emergency because I do that in my cash stuffings. Study. To be fair, does snacks count, guys, do you think, as a study? I think it does. Household. which actually got a lot more than I thought. Self-care and treats. Now, I definitely know I have more than that. But you know, like when you just forget, it just doesn't come to you. I can't actually remember what my little sinking funds were. You know what? Let me have a quick check then. So hang on, give me a sec. Okay, so I'm back. So we've got travel, social, treats, and oh no, hang on. Travel, social, treats, and I've got others. Gifts we have. I'm going to also include Christmas for 2026. And I think that's everything. I'm going to assume that's everything and hope for the best, guys. That's just, if we keep adding more in, I'm going to end up adding more, aren't I? So let me just move yous back like that, because I like to write on an angle, I do. So home is where the heart is. Home's got about £4 in, £4 or £5 in, and I think I'm going to leave that because that's just for little bits of decor, and I don't really need anything. If I want anything, I'll probably just use it, won't I? Study, I'm not going to put anything into because I don't really need anything at the moment. If I need anything, it'll be like a new notebook, but I've got plenty in there. Like if I can't get a tear out, just a cheap notebook for £9.51, I'm quite concerned. Groceries I've already discussed. Household, do I want to put anything in? So what do I need potentially in household? I've got toothpaste, I've got shower gels, that's all self-care stuff. Household, things like cloths, tissues, I might need some of that. So I might just pop in like £2. I know that sounds really sad and I could literally just say 0, but that makes more sense, I think. Just putting like a little bit in, every little helps with it. Self-care, I don't actually know how much, guys, I've got in self-care. So you can do a little count up with me. So let me just take this out. Treats, I'm not going to put anything into, because I think I've got enough in there. Let me have a look. Ooh, so we've got £15 in there so far. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then I've got some like loose change. So we've got £20 in there. So, 20, 23. Okay, so yeah, we've got basically £20.50 in there, pretty much. So if we've got £20.50 in. Now, I was going to go for a haircut in November, but my hair hasn't really grown as quickly. So I'm kind of debating not going for one or leaving it to as late as possible. So potentially I might pop like a £5 in, I think. But that's probably all I'm going to need. Because then if I get a haircut at the end of the month, I'm going to have £25 of that already. My haircut's 15, so that would still leave me with 10. And by the time I put enough in January and in December and January, we should be fine for the next one. So that's only £7 so far. Actually, that's really good. That's positive. I'm happy with that. So clothing's the other one that we're missing off. I know I'm missing one, which I'm actually not going to put a thing in because I've got enough clothes, and the more I do it, the more I'm just going to spend from it. Travel-y do. Let me have a look. What do I need? So I don't include my work travel because I take that from my wage. So in terms of what I might need to travel for in November, there's not really much. If I go to a formal, I might, and I might, allow myself to get like the odd thing, or if I need to get the odd taxi. So I'm going to give myself a tenner, I think. Is £10 going to be enough? I'm going to have to hope it is, aren't I, guys? That should be enough. That should be fine, I think. Social. Okay, we'll come back to that. Gifts. How much have I got in my gifts, guys? How much have we got in gifts? Can you tell I haven't prepared very well? So gifts, we've got about £10. Oh no, we've got 15 in there. That's all right. That's pretty good. I'll take that because that'll be Mother's Day. What have I got? Mother's Day, Valentine's, which I don't really have anything for. Christmas, which I've already done. So, all together, guys, I don't really think we need anything in gifts. If we want to do a stripped back budget, I think we should be all right. If I want to, I can put some of my cash stuffings. Christmas 2026. Do I want to put anything into it? Because I am beginning to think about that. And I am thinking I might begin slowly just popping a £5 in. Just because I want... Even though I technically saved no money, I have spent a little bit more this Christmas than I thought. But that's okay because I'm kind of happy to do that. And also, I just also feel like everything's just went up so quickly this year. Like, I feel like... I don't know what it is, but I feel like everything just really has increased this year. Like, I know obviously it has. So, if we've got £22 in there so far, and I'm going to add that in my 126.18, how much does that take us up to? Okay, so, in terms of social, then I'm only going to give myself 30 for the month, which should be enough. And then that will be altogether £178 and 18 pence. And if I really want anything more, I'm gonna have to factor that in potentially. I think this system, obviously, it's a big drawback on, it's nearly half of what we spent in October's budget, but I'm willing to give this a go. And then if it doesn't work, we can, you know, halfway through November, I'm happy to come back to the drawing board and we can redo another budget if we really need to, or we can, you know, look at alternatives, see what works from this stripped back budget, and then see what doesn't work, and then we can learn. And that's how you got a budget, isn't it, guys? So that's what I'm going to do. So that's going to be the end of this video today because I haven't got any cash with us to do anything with. So without that, thanks so much for watching. Take care, know that you matter, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe and check out the videos below. Thank you.